Hi, it's Nathaniel Whiston here, and welcome to Mysteries of West Anglia. Today I'm travelling to the village of Langley. It's to the west of Stevenage, to the east of Preston and to the south of Hitchin. It's in North Hertfordshire and it's in West Anglia. I'm on my way to Minsden Chapel today. This was built in the 14th century, but by the 17th century it was starting to fall apart. It was said during one wedding that a piece of masonry fell from the ceiling and knocked the order of service book out of the curate's hand. There's said to be at least 5 ghosts spooking out the place, including monks, nuns and a historian from Hitchin called Reginald Hine, who said he endeavoured in all ghostly ways to protect and haunt its hallowed walls from trespassers. There's also been reports of bells ringing, music playing, and there's said to be a secret underground network of tunnels underneath the chapel that are linked to the Knights Templar. A lot of mystery going on for the final episode of Mysteries of West Anglia. We finally had our debut performance of The Living Sea of Waking Dreams. It didn't go great, but we've had a review in the local paper which has just absolutely slaughtered it. It's killed it. I've read it 1,000 times. I can't stop thinking about it. This stupid review has completely ruined any chance for this rock opera. I've pulled over because I want to read you this review that we got. Last week, the audience gathered at Papworth Everard Village Hall to watch the debut performance of The Living Sea of Waking Dreams could be forgiven for thinking they were in a nightmare. The pretentious title is matched by first-time writer, director, lead actor, and one suspects egomaniac Nathaniel Whiston's insistence that his musical be called a rock opera. Whiston cast himself in the lead role of Jonathan Travers, and what he lacks in a talent for writing and directing, he does not make up for it in acting and singing ability. Why somebody didn't take him to one side and explain the basics of stage acting, directing, or how to carry a tune without dropping it several times, I'll never know. It would have saved a lot of embarrassment, for that is what this underwhelming, overblown rock opera is, an embarrassment. We're introduced to Louise, an ex-girlfriend of Travers, and I couldn't help but feel that she did well to get a shot of him. His relationship with her, like the rest of the play, lacks any depth. This is supposed to be the story of a man's slow, painful descent into madness, but there are so many scenes of rambling nonsense, often just Travers walking around talking to himself, that the audience is far more likely to lose their minds before he has. What is this? A comedy? A drama? An improvised documentary? Tectonic plates shift less often than the motives in this play. The character and behaviour of Travers vaulted between cornerly sincere and witheringly sarcastic. The relationship with his best friend Oliver, incongruously played by 60-year-old Bob Russell, is particularly confusing. Travers insists on telling us how useless Oliver is, without ever giving us a convincing reason as to why. On to the positives. Don't worry, this won't take long. Some of the songs, although lyrically banal, are catchy enough to sing in the shower the next day. Also the performance of Lily Bradshaw, who is surely too naive to appreciate what she signed up for. Those of us among the sparsely attended audience shan't forget this for a while. I expect to see them again in hospital as we join the NHS waiting list to have our toes surgically uncurled. One doesn't like to dampen the enthusiasm for a new voice in the theatre, but in Whiston's case I'm willing to make an exception. Any ambition to turn this one-off performance into a touring show or more permanent residency must surely be extinguished. There is neither sense of life or joys, but the vast shipwreck of life's esteems. No stars. And I'll park just here, and we're here. We're in Langley. I'm a man on the edge today, the edge of West Anglia. Where I stand right now is the verdant wonderland of West Anglia, and over in this direction, if I travel for about 5 or 10 minutes, I'll end up in London, or at least the television region of London, the bustling, smoke-filled metropolis, where the fields are concrete, the footpaths are bus lanes, and the farms are tube stations. In 1907, a man called Thomas William Latchmore took a very famous photo at Minsden Chapel. It was said to show a ghostly monk. I've seen this picture and it does look like a ghostly monk. However, he later revealed that it was all a hoax. That hasn't stopped numerous rumours of paranormal activity at the site. I don't have the ability to hoax anything, to make anything up. Everything that you see on this camera today will be absolutely genuine. I got some good news from the Kerslake household. My friend Jeremy has become the proud father of a baby girl called Ava. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice name, but if you look at the most popular girls' baby names over the last few years, Ava is consistently near the top. That means when she goes to school, there'll be 5 of them in her class. That just shows you the lack of originality that Jeremy and Liz have. Anyway, warm congratulations to them both. I call this area Langley. Some people call it Chapelfoot, but I haven't seen any signs saying that. There is a Chapelfoot farm over there. Some people call it Preston, others Poinders End. Whatever you call it, the one thing we can all agree on is that it's West Anglia. How can they give no stars? Are they saying that not one person could derive any enjoyment from this? It must go against the reviewer's code of conduct. You've got to give at least 1 star to it. There's billions of stars in the universe, yet to this reviewer they're so precious that they can't spare a single one for my rock opera. The only consolation I have is that that review is going to end up as tomorrow's chip paper. It doesn't deserve that though, it should be toilet paper. I'm approaching Minsden Chapel now, or rather the ruins of Minsden Chapel. I don't think many people come up here, it's quite thick underfoot. I have to negotiate my way through. There's so many stinging nettles around here. I should worry less about being haunted and more about being stung. As I make my way to the chapel, I'm hoping that the ghost of Reginald Hine recognises that I'm not here to destroy or desecrate the place. I come in peace. If he wants to haunt me, fine, but I'd rather he didn't. Who knows whether he's here or not? He might have got his wish to remain at Minsden Chapel, or he may be somewhere else. Who knows what happens to you in the afterlife? I don't think I'm going to be able to answer that question today. No, this place isn't what it once was. Can we blame poor workmanship for that? Yes, time, erosion, that all plays a part. But maybe they just got the wrong builders for the job. It feels apt to come here today after what's happened to my rock opera in ruins. I'm keeping a lookout for any ghostly monks, nuns, the sound of bells ringing. Haven't seen or heard anything so far. It would be nice to have a phantom clergyman or woman on camera today, but you can't always get what you want. There is still a risk of falling masonry today. This chapel is crumbling, so I do have to be careful. Unfortunately, I don't own a hard hat. My friend Jeremy probably does, but if I wanted to borrow it, I'd have to phone him up a month in advance, and then when I go around to pick it up, he wouldn't be there anyway. There was an iconic arch here, and I think it was between these 2 pillars. That fell down in 2008. Who knows what will happen to this place? As more of it starts to fall apart and nature reclaims it, it could be totally gone. Where will the ghosts go when Minsden Chapel goes? I think this is about the spot that a curate or a vicar would have been standing, holding a wedding. and it would have fell from up here, some masonry, and knocked the book out of his hand. I wonder if we can see the spot of masonry today. Could be any of these. This place fell out of use in the 17th century during the Reformation. One wonders why they built it in the first place. It's so far away from the nearby towns of Hitchin and Stevenage, a good hour and a half walk away. In those days, Stevenage was barely a village. It's so isolated. What could motivate somebody to come out here? I feel like I've been here before. That was Minsden Chapel, and that brings this series of Mysteries of West Anglia to an end. I've had a thoroughly enjoyable time travelling around this region, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this series. I'm Nathaniel Whiston, and I will see you again soon.